Hey everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to play Space Lab. Here we go. Let's learn how to play Space Lab. This tutorial exists thanks to Rojection. Space is wonderful, isn't it? And there's so much of that wonder we still don't know about. Well, let's launch some space stations and see what we can discover. So there'll be some scrolling required. If you can't see what you need to do for the next step, scroll up and down until you find it. In Space Lab, you will collect and play lab cards, fulfill the objectives on your station capsules, and collect project cards. All of this will help you earn points, and whoever has the most points wins. At the start of the game, each player takes 3 objective tiles, so that's the blue ones here, and places one into each capsule of their space station. So these are the capsules of our space station. You should see some rectangles with black dashed outlines located around the 3 station capsules. You may need to scroll down a little further to see the ones at the bottom. These are spaces where we will play lab cards. So these are the dashed ones right here. In ways that will be explained throughout the tutorial, lab cards will score points, provide bonuses, and help us complete objectives. The symbols on an objective tile represent colors of lab cards to be placed around the capsule that the tile goes in. For example, if we put the left objective tile in the left capsule, so this left, if we put this one here, then we fulfill that objective and earn points by putting 2 blue cards and 1 red card. 2 blue cards and 1 red card. The spaces between 2 capsules count towards objectives for both of them. Okay, the spaces between 2 capsules. Okay. There are more symbols at the bottom of each objective tile. The symbol on the left is one of 4 lab card specialties: mechanic, doctor, pilot, or scientist. The symbol on the right is the reward for playing a card of the matching specialty to the space below the capsule. So here's the specialty and the bonus, and you can mouse over it. Don't worry, we'll see some of these bonuses soon. Everyone assigns their objective tiles at the same time, so let's not waste time. Click on the left objective tile to select it, and click on the left capsule to place the tile there. Nicely done. Now put the right tile into the middle capsule the same way. So we'll put this one here. And then, okay, excellent. At the top of the window, you can see a last step back button that allows you to undo anything, the last thing you did, just in case you misclick or come up with something better to do things. But for now, just put the last objective tile in the right capsule and then scroll back up for the next step. Okay, scroll back up. Okay, what's the next step? Okay, they're placing theirs. Okay, once everyone has assigned their objective tiles, the game begins. Players take turns performing one of 3 actions. They can draw labs from the deck, the blue one here is the deck, take labs from the recruitment center, right here, the red part, and play labs from your hand. Let's see, I don't see the green part. I don't see it, okay. I guess this is our hand over here, maybe. BJ randomly selected our opponent space captain face to be the first player. On the first player's first turn, they must draw labs cards from the deck. Okay, the first player has to draw cards. Okay. When Space Captain Face took that action, he drew 3 lab cards. All players get to see what cards were drawn. Each card is associated with one of 4 space agencies: Red Rocket, Golden Planet, Green Explorer, and Blue Future. You can tell by the color of the card and the little symbol on the top, which looks just like the symbols on our objective tile. So right here. Okay. In the top left corner of each card is a number between 0 and 3. This is the card's cost. If a player wants to play that card from their hand, they must discard that many other cards from their hand. Don't have enough? Then you can't play the card. Below the cost is an icon indicating the card's specialty: mechanic, the gear and wrench; scientist, the seed and flask; pilot, the astronaut helmet; and doctor, the medical emergency symbol. So you see right here, these things here. I already mentioned how specialties are important to gain the bonuses at the bottom of the objective tiles, but they also sometimes matter for scoring. Speaking of scoring, each card's score is in the bottom left corner. Some cards just score a fixed value, while others score more points depending on certain criteria as how many blue cards or how many pilots you have played. Cards that don't get played don't score anything though. So this one is 1 point per blue card probably. Yep. And then it's 1 point per pilot. Anyway, Space Captain Face may have drawn those 3 cards, but he doesn't get to keep all of them. Instead, he picks one color and adds all the cards of that color to his hand. The rest will go to the recruitment center right here, where they may be picked up by any player in the later turn. So they chose the green one. Okay. He took the green card and his turn is over. Now that it's in his hand, we aren't allowed to see it. We could take one of the cards he sent to the recruitment center, but I think we should draw some cards from the deck. Click on either the deck of lab cards or draw 3 cards. The draw 3 cards button at the top of the window. Let's go click on the deck. Okay, confirm. Okay. Like Space Captain Face, we drew 3 lab cards and must decide one color to add to our hand. That means if we choose blue, we get these 2 cards. Sweet. Click on the 2 blue cards we drew or keep blue cards at the button. Okay. Great. Now we have 2 blue cards in our hand. That will help us complete the objective in our left capsule. See right here, 2 blue cards, 2 blue. Once a player fulfills a capsule's objective, they take the booster tile from the top of the corresponding stack and earn the number of points shown. The top tile on the left stack also gives a free lab card, while the top tile on the right stack gives a free project card. How do we know that? I guess a different icon, I guess. Okay. For now, though, our action is complete and our turn is over. Let's see what Space Captain Face does. What's up with the scoring on the middle card? There's no numbers at all. That's because this lab card doesn't give any points. Instead, when a player plays it, they get to draw a project card. We'll learn more about project cards later. The lab card on the right looks like it scores 3 points per scientist card played. But what do those little arrows mean? Oh, which arrows? I don't see any arrows. Okay. They mean only cards played in the same row as this card count, including the card itself. So if this card were to be played on the top row spaces, it would score 3 points per scientist card in the top row. Let's see. I don't see any arrow card. Oh, okay. You can see in the red part. Okay. And the red icon part. Now, looks like a good time to perform the next action, taking cards from the recruitment center. When we perform this action, we pick a color and move all cards of that color from the recruitment center into our hand. Any other cards will stay where they are. In this case, we'll take the blue cards. There are 2 ways to do so: take cards or click on the blue. We'll just do that. That's the same as before. Good job, we're getting a lot of blue cards, but luckily there's no limit to how many cards you can have in your hand at the end of the turn. From now on, I will skip through Space Captain Face's turns. Okay. Before we look at how you play lab cards, there's one more thing I want to show you. Take the yellow cards from the recruitment center, just like we did with the blues the last turn. Then wait for Space Captain Face to take his turn. Okay, we'll take those. Let's see, what did he do? Something different. Okay. You know how I said you can end your turn with as many cards as you want in your hand? Well, by contrast, the start of the turn has a hand limit. If you start your turn with 5 or more cards, you don't get to draw or take any more. You must play cards from your hand. So we have 6. When playing a card from your hand, you have to decide 3 things: which card to play, where to play it, which cards to discard to pay the cost. None if the cost is 0. Let's try it now. Click on the blue card with the mechanic specialty. So that's this one. Scroll down until you see the lowest row of the spaces and click the bottom left space. Okay, we're going to put it here. It's mechanic, okay. Now scroll back up to our hand and click on the rightmost yellow card to pay the cost of our blue card. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay, confirm. So why did I want us to place the blue card in that space? Scroll down to it and I'll explain. Firstly, the objective on our left capsule wants us to have 2 blue cards and 1 red card. So 2 blue cards and 1 red card in spaces around that capsule. 2 blue cards and 1 red card. Okay. The card we just placed brings us closer to achieving that objective and getting a booster tile from this left stack. If our opponent fulfills their left capsule objective first, however, then they will take that booster tile and we'll have to settle for the next one in the stack, which won't be as good. Okay. Secondly, the bonus at the bottom of the left capsule is 3 points if we play a card with the mechanic specialty, which the card we just played has. Both our other objective tiles have bonuses that give us a free lab card if we play cards with the doctor specialty below those capsules. Yeah, so this one has a doctor specialty, this icon there. Okay. Additionally, while the space chosen doesn't matter for this, the card we played will have more points than will give more points the more blue cards we played. Let me read that again. So additionally, while the space chosen doesn't matter, we'll put this down below. For this, the card we played will give more points the more blue cards we play. And I plan to have us play at least a couple more. Okay, let me see. Scroll back up to our hand for the next step, okay? We played a lab card, but our turn isn't over. When playing lab cards, you can play as many as you want in a single turn, as long as you can keep paying the costs for them. Okay. Let me double check, okay. Or you can click the ignore button to hold onto your cards and end your turn, but we'll play another card. Select the blue scientist and place it on the top left space. Okay. This time we need to discard 2 cards to pay the cost. Let me double check. Okay. Select the yellow card first. Okay. And select the leftmost blue card second. Confirm. Because the number up here is the cost. Okay. The spaces below the capsules aren't the only ones that provide a bonus. By playing a card to a space above the capsule, we get to draw project cards. The number of cards we draw is equal to the cost of the card we play. So a card with a cost of 0 will give us nothing. Once we draw the project cards, we pick one to keep and then discard the rest to the bottom of the deck. With most project cards, our aim is to collect sets of matching ones. The bigger the set, the more points it's worth, as indicated at the top of the card. So they're right here. The exception is the Moon Telescope project. Each of those cards simply scores 1 point per played lab card of a particular color. The number in the bottom left corner, right there, really small, is how many copies of that card exist in the game. In a real game, you'll have to decide for yourself which projects to focus on. But for this tutorial, click on the project card on the left. By the way, if you forget what I said in this tutorial about the objective lab cards and projects and how project cards work, you can hover your mouse over one and a tooltip will explain how it works. Okay, so you can mouse over it. Okay. So we'll just select this, confirm. Okay. Our project card was added to a panel to the left of our hand. Just like with cards in our hand, our opponent cannot see our project cards. Since then, we had no more lab cards we could legally play, so our turn came to an end. At this point, I think you've seen enough gameplay. The game continues with players taking turns like this until one player either fills all of their lab card spaces, completes all of their objectives. Once that happens, every other player gets one more turn in which they must play lab cards. Then the game ends. Every player earns points from the following: lab cards played, booster tiles collected from fulfilling objectives, project cards accrued, bonuses on the top of the objective tiles. The player with the most points is the winner. If there's a tie, the tied player with the most project cards wins. And now you know how to play Space Lab. A big thank you goes out to Johannes and Corentin for designing the game, Studio H for publishing it, and Goldilocks for implementing it on BGA. If we like the tutorial, give 5 stars. And if you're confused by anything, please contact Row Objection, and they will help us understand. Okay, 5 stars. All right, thanks for watching.